So when we left the United States, I had two big storage bins, the average size storage bins that had a whole bunch of really personal, important memorabilia that we couldn't fit into our suitcases. And we didn't want to get rid of, obviously. We had things like um, paintings that my daughter did in school when she was young, drawings, Christmas ornaments that were really personal, wedding pictures, not just mine, but my sister's, um, family photos from all of us from well before my sister died and my father died, pictures of the kids all together as kids, babies and younglings. Um, my autographed Rangers jersey, my Yankees jersey that I got the first time I went to Yankee Stadium, my partner's trophies and football memorabilia that he acquired over the years while we were living there. Lots of keepsakes and stuff from moments that you can't get back, and pieces of memories from the family that's no longer with us. Also, things like my daughter's baby book. So before we left, we were told that whenever you want them, they'll be here. Whenever you get settled, just let me know and we'll get them to you. And it was stuff that is really, really important, but stuff that we wasn't a priority to bring because we couldn't, we didn't have the room. And honestly, I mean, part of it's my fault. Like, I should have probably figured out how to ship it well before we left. We had all the money and the time in the world to figure it out. I just was so preoccupied with so many other things. And then, of course, when we landed, I was even more preoccupied with so many things. And I was still dealing with my daughter, trying to figure out how she was feeling about the move and everything. And it was just a lot. So, it's as much my fault that it's taken this long to get this stuff here as it is anyone else's. But now I want them. Now I'm ready. Well, I've wanted them for the last year or so, but things have been happening overseas that have caused some delays as well. I've tried to be understanding of, that people have other things going on and whatnot, but now I've actually want them, and it's been almost a year, and it just feels like it's constantly stalling, and there's constant obstacles in my way and constant, well, let me see what I can do, or I'll get you that information, or some BS vague, reason why I don't have them in my possession yet, and no real actual movement. And part of what I've been realizing, part of my trauma that I'm having right now, is that I'm realizing it's not a shipping problem. It feels like these boxes are being held as a reason for me to come back someday. It feels like I'm being told that I shouldn't, or I can't, or I'm not allowed to acknowledge the entire life that I had in the United States before we left. It was a good life. I've never, ever shied away from that. I loved the life that we built. We worked really hard for it, and we reaped a lot of benefits from that hard work. And it was a really tough decision to give it all up and start all over again somewhere else. But it feels like I'm not allowed to enjoy all of that part of the life that I built in my daughter's childhood and stuff because I decided to move somewhere else. Also, like, I can't have two truths at the same time. Like, I can't admit that the life that I had in the United States was good, but that moving to the United Kingdom, moving to England wasn't a mistake. So like, it's like I have to pick one. That's what it feels like. Like, I can't have both, even though I lived both. But just because I chose to build a life in England doesn't mean that it erases everything that I built in the United States with my partner. Well, even before I met my partner, it feels like I have to erase or let go of my daughter's childhood. I'm sorry that I'm crying again, you guys, but I literally cry every day. about this right now. It's not fair that I should have to let go of those memories and those moments because I decided to start a new life somewhere else. And I'm kind of resentful that I'm being put into a position where I feel like that I have to choose. And I don't think it's fair for my partner or my daughter to have to pretend that all of that didn't happen either. It's like we're all getting punished because we have a new life here and we're happy. Look, some of what's in those boxes can never be replaced. But the truth is, some of it can. And we've survived 3.5 years here in England without any of it. So if I never got it back again, I could survive. It would be a loss and it would be a tough loss. But at the end of the day, it is just stuff. And it doesn't matter nearly as much as what we have here and each other and what we've built. Being able to survive without it and having the option to survive without it is not exactly the same as being denied the right to even name that you miss it. It's not like they got destroyed in a fire or a flood or in shipping or something and I have to just deal with the loss of it. It feels like it's purposely being withheld from me. And it's actually a lot more complicated to get boxes shipped when they're not in your possession. So I just have this urgency now to get these boxes shipped here to England to us with whatever it takes. And it's not about the objects inside 100%. It's more about being allowed to close that chapter on my terms without someone else holding the door open behind me on a wish or a prayer. It's going to cost us a lot of money, time. It's already cost me a lot of stress and anxiety, but I feel like I don't have a choice other than booking a flight. I have a fear as well that because I'm not there to pack it up and ship it, that I'm going to get a few boxes full of destroyed, smashed stuff. I know it probably sounds paranoid to a lot of you that don't know all the details and behind the scenes of the situation, which I've, withheld on purpose, but it's not paranoia. It's a real, honest, practical fear. It makes it so complicated when the person that's holding your things isn't necessarily really motivated or excited to help you. And the silliest part of all of this is it is just stuff. And even though it is sort of my tie to the US, like even though it's sort of my last tie to the US, I should say right now, physically, I still have real ties there. I have my mother, I have my sister's kids, there's a few reasons to go back and try to have a relationship again. And it's the United States. There's so much I never got to see or experience, and it's always going to be my home. I never wanted to be cut off from the United States, ever. Why would I? Even if you just look at my relationship with my partner, we've spent almost 20 years together there. Our child was born there. Half of her life was there. Maybe like the issue is that it feels like I'm just cutting off the relationship with people, but it's really not anyone else's business whether they agree with why we left or not, or the fact that we left at all. And I don't think we should be punished for it.